Hello, amazing people. Hazel Bulubisi here. Welcome back to my channel where we have travel videos and sometimes we also have discussions about medicine and life in general. As you have noticed, I have been gone for a while. It was very unplanned. I had only planned to take a break during December because school had gotten busy and I needed to focus my attention there. But I ended up taking a break for both December and January because life happens. So why I took such a long break was because I ended up getting COVID. It was very unplanned. I didn't see it coming, so my year didn't really start on a high note. But that's the reason why I have been gone for a while. So I decided to just do a video explaining to you my experience with COVID, how I found out about it, and how I survived it. So first, I remember I started feeling sick at the beginning of the year. Just I think it was 3rd of December, and I remember I was even talking to one of my friends and telling her I'm really feeling sick, and I don't understand why I'm feeling sick, but let's hope that it's nothing bad. She jokingly said to me, "You have COVID," and I was like, "No, it can't be COVID. I hope it's not COVID because I mean I've been very careful most of the times, except." This one time during, because it was New Year's, we all celebrated together, and I didn't think much of it. I remember that night I was feeling really sick, and I really struggled to even finishing like editing the last video that I posted about Borneo. If you haven't watched it, I'll leave a card above. I don't know, this side or this side, whichever side, so you can go watch it. And I really struggled editing and stuff because I was feeling really horrible. But I was like, I need to do this. I need to get this video out because it was part of my plan as the year began. So I managed to do it, but by the time I was getting to bed, I was really like I was so sick. I couldn't even explain. I remember I was having a fever. First of all, how I started feeling sick was I just started having an unprovoked cough from nowhere. So I was like, anyway, maybe it's just a cough because I was out in the cold. Then now on that third evening is when now I had the fever, and I realized because I checked my temperature and my fever kept on going up and up. And I even tried like taking some medicine. It wasn't responding to the medicine. So I was like, oh, what's going on? So eventually I was just like, let me go to bed and sleep. Hey, the next day I woke up, my throat was feeling like it was swollen. I had a sore throat. My whole body was aching. My joints are aching. I had the fever that was not going. And I was just feeling really fatigued and really weak. And this is when I knew, this is not a normal cold or a flu because the way I'm feeling, I don't know how to explain. Like, you just know it's not the normal feeling of a cold. It was way worse. And I was feeling really weak. Mind you, I live at that, okay, right now at the moment I'm living alone. So I knew I was feeling sick. I had no help. There's nothing I could do. But eventually, I texted one of my friends and told her, I'm not feeling too well. Please, if you can, get me like a test, the rapid tests. Because here you can get the ones you can do at home. So I told her, please bring it to me and just leave it at my doorstep because I'm not sure with the way I'm feeling, I'm not sure if it's COVID or not. So she brought the test and I ended up taking the test. And I remember even before I took it, I sat there for like 10 minutes just telling myself it can't be COVID. How could I get COVID? It can't. Like I was in denial. So anyway, I did the test and then which you have to just do the nasal swab and put it in a solution, then put it in like it looks the same. I think from what I've seen, almost similar to like the pregnancy kit that usually has lines. So it was similar to that. I had to pour the solution there, then it tells you whether you're positive or not. So lo and behold, I was positive and I had COVID, and I think for those first 5 minutes I was in shock. I was like, no, this can't be happening. How do I have COVID? How am I going to survive this? I'm all alone. What is going to happen? Like I was worrying and panicking and my head was just going on overdrive. So I sat down, I was like, okay, I have COVID. What is the next thing I have to do? It means I have to call all my contacts because in the past, as I said, it was third. So I had met up with my friends for the New Year. So I was like, okay, I need to call them, tell them, guys, I have COVID, so you need to get tested. So calling like two of them, they're like, yeah, even us, we've been feeling sick. And I'm like, oh, hey. So anyway, as it turns out, also my friends ended up having COVID. And I guess, I don't know where we got it from. Either one of us had interacted with someone who had and now spread it to the rest of us, or I just don't know where we picked it up from. So days went by. This is fourth. I'm still feeling really sick. By then, since the medicine I was taking wasn't working, I changed it and decided to change to another paracetamol. Thank God this one worked, and so my fever went down. But I was really sickly and I didn't really have any strength. So I remember my first 3 days, I spent all of them in bed, just sleeping throughout the day, sleeping throughout the night, because I was feeling really sick. And then I also didn't have an appetite, so I was barely eating. I remember the only thing I could eat were oranges, so that was the only thing I ate. And thank God that my Italian mom was in Rome at that time, so she was able to drop off some food at my doorstep and like the fruits and oranges, so that's what kept me going. So by the end of the week, at least by like Friday, Saturday, I was still sickly, but at least I could push myself to get out of bed. So I remember talking, because for us here in Rome, since we are med students, we are given the opportunity to do tests in school. And at that time, I was not able to do a test in school because the school wasn't open. It was still closed for the holidays. So I remember contacting one of them and telling them, I don't know what to do. I've tested positive for COVID. I tested it in the house, and now I don't know what my next step is. So they advised me, they're like, you have to get a test done at a pharmacy so that it's proof. Because as of now, yes, I'm vaccinated. I forgot to mention I'm vaccinated. I got both doses. But then we're at the point where people are getting the booster dose, which has to be updated onto your green pass. So if you don't have the booster dose, I think from like next month, you won't be able to access things. And I was worried because once you get COVID, you can't get your booster dose until after 150 days. So I was like, I don't know how to go about this. Okay, I have COVID. I've not yet gotten my booster dose. So what next? So at least the lady was nice. She explained to me, okay, go to the pharmacy, get a test done since the school is not open, and wait. So I did that. My first test that I did was on Tuesday. I was positive. So that Saturday, I really pushed myself. I knew I was still positive because I was still showing symptoms. I was still coughing. I was still having a bit of body aches, but it wasn't so bad. But at least my fever was gone, and my throat was really still not okay. Anyway, I went to a pharmacy. I did the test. Yes, of course, it came out positive, so I came back home. And I continued isolating because now I didn't know what was the plan. So anyway, since here in Italy, I think once you test positive, you have to report to, what can I call it? Like a body for healthcare. It's called the ASL. It stands for something, Azienda something. I'll put it on the screen. So you have to say, yes, I got COVID and all that to get all your paperwork done. So to do that, I had to go into school and get tested again. So I tested on Tuesday. Tuesday, I was still positive. So I was feeling, I'm feeling so bad because I'm like, I'm still positive. By Tuesday, I was feeling a bit better. Still, I was a bit, my cough until now, even until now, my voice is not really back to normal. I still have that cough, but at least I'm not feeling sickly. So by that Tuesday, I still had the cough. It was still really bad. I was still really fatigued. Like, even just walking, it was so much work to just walk to uni and back. So I did the test. I was a bit hopeful, thinking it would be negative. Oh, no, it was still positive. And by this time in the evening, talking to my other friends who had COVID, they had tested negative after a week. I was still positive. So I was really sad. I was like, okay, it took a bit of a toll on me mentally because, first of all, I had to deal with it alone. Like the first few days, I think I even thought that I was going to die alone in this house because I'm like, I'm so sick. I don't even understand what to do. I don't know how to go about it. I'm just guessing here and there and really trying to take it as it comes. But life was tricky. Anyway, I survived it. So by that Tuesday, I was still positive, so I had to come back to the house. I just isolated. So I continued isolating. Yeah, by then my Italian mom had gone back to Bormio and I had run out of food. So I called my uncle. I was like, okay, I've still tested positive. Please, can you bring me food? Thank God to him because I wouldn't have survived without him. So he brought me food at least. And that's how I managed to survive so far until now. So that was from that week for Tuesday. So I didn't get tested again. I waited until now this week, which is, I can't remember the date. I took a test on a Thursday. I remember it was a Thursday. And finally, I tested negative and I was so happy because I was really worried that this thing was not going to end. So right now I'm negative as I film this. I mean, am I fully recovered? I don't know. Because yes, I'm not sickly anymore. I don't have a fever. I'm not having body aches. I'm not having a sore throat. But still, still have this persistent cough that is not going. And to some extent, I still kind of feel fatigued. It's not as bad as it was in the beginning, but there's still some essence of feeling really tired and like I'm really struggling to just get by like the daily activities. It takes some time. So I don't know how long it'll take for me to fully feel like myself again. Probably it'll be a while. Hopefully it will be coming soon because I'm tired of feeling this way. But yeah, that was just generally that was my experience with COVID. Would I wish it upon anyone? No, not even my worst enemy, because it was really bad. I didn't like how I felt. I felt like it was such a struggle. Like that sickness, it's not something I'd wish on anyone. So I'd urge you, if you're out there, please take care. COVID is still there. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to go through it for you to start realizing that it's there and for you to start being careful. You can do it now before you get it. Stay safe, mask up. If you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. Right now, they're giving out the booster dose. Get the booster dose because, I mean, it's a virus. A virus replicates, so we don't know how it's going to change over and over. And it's really annoying. I know it's annoying when each and every time there's a new variant. But I mean, the only way to fight it is if you're vaccinated and if you mask up. Yeah, so what I learned from this is that always be kind to your neighbor, always be kind to anyone next to you. Because even me, when I was sick, I was all alone. And to be honest, I didn't expect all the helping hand that I got. I was really touched by it all. That people were able to go out of their way to either bring me a test or bring me food and text me to check up on me every day or call me to see if I'm doing okay. Even when I was here in the house struggling by myself mentally, those small acts of kindness made a difference. So yeah, that's a lesson I'd pass on. I'd say be kind to whoever is next to you. You don't know what they're going through. And just be helpful where you can. Those small acts of kindness that you may do for you, you may not think twice about it, but for the person you're giving it to, it's really a big deal. So yeah, I think that's what I'd say was my lesson during this time. So I'll also strive to be more kind, more open. I'll try. I mean, I think I already am, but I'll strive to be kinder and to help more and to, give out more. And yeah, hopefully the world will be a better place. That's it. That was my experience. So if you have any symptoms, make sure to do a test just to make sure so that you know if you need to isolate or not. Again, mask up, wash your hands, sanitize, get vaccinated if you're not vaccinated. I don't know, this whole issue of, oh, I'm not being vaccinated, I'm anti-vax, really doesn't make sense. I mean, you have survived until now where you are because you were vaccinated since you were a child. So please make sure to get vaccinated. Yes, that's it for this video. And stay tuned to see what comes up in the next couple of weeks. I have a bit of content for you that I hope you will enjoy. And please spread the word, share the video, share the channel. Let's grow together. Thank you and have a great week. Bye.